Well, howdy, it's afternoon. Really late afternoon. I always get sucked in when I take a day off, that's for sure. Um, I'm going to take 3 days to get to Clayton. It's only 30 miles. But the reason I'm doing that is because there's about a 90% chance of rain on Monday night. So what I'm going to do is when I get to Clayton, instead of just trying to hang out in the woods somewhere, I'll get another motel room for the night. Because I don't want to get wet, man. And that won't really put me too behind. It's 30 miles to Clayton. So instead of doing 2:15s, I'll do, I think I'm going to do 8.5 today if I can make it before dark. And then that'll leave 22 or 21.5 miles to do in 2 days. I was tempted to stay another day here, but this being the weekend, as you can see, there's now a long succession of cars coming up the mountain, and that therefore made the motel room price more than double. So that in and of itself gave me the final impetus to just get the heck out of town and stop being lazy again. So the goal today is, like I said, about 8.5 miles. There's a random piece of Forest Service land, and it's the only random piece in that section there. So if it doesn't turn out to really be feasible, I'm kind of stuck without having to knock on somebody's door, say, hey, can I camp on your land? Because now with the leaves all gone off of the trees, it'll be pretty hard to stealth camp, number one, and then number two, a lot of the topography is that it just rises abruptly from the edge of the road, so there wouldn't be any flat spot anyway. And the other thing too is to thank Al and Dee, and Joy and Robert. You might recall Al and Dee from the second walk. Al met me in Tennessee, and he walked with me for a day there in Tennessee, and then bought me a motel room at night, and then I stayed at their house when I got into North Carolina. But anyway, on we go. Camp out in the woods tonight, camp out in the woods tomorrow somewhere, and then hide from the rain on the following night. Oh, look at this. Speaking of the old mill, we're actually passing it by. It's still in operation. It's not a major commercial venture. I think it just caters to people wandering in like me. But it's the old stone disc that they used to grind the grain into flour. Did all its thing, came down the chutes and all that. And then they just packed it in the stuff and sent it off. But they're still doing little bits today. So that's the old Nora Mills granary. And if you're into coffee, we've got a coffee thing here too. This is all, oh, look at that. Man, a lot of cars. Antiques. This is the happening place on the weekends. Well, that's a Bummer. I just discovered there's a shortcut I could have taken. Would have saved all about of a tenth of a mile, but still, it was walking along the river there and out of traffic. Huh. Oh well, next time. And I just learned. So I told you about the Unicoi Trail or Turnpike a little while back. This is it here. So the Cherokee granted permission for the Americans to operate a toll road here. So this was the old Unicoi Turnpike, and like I told you before, the old Unicoi Trail that the Indians used, and it connected Tennessee, North Carolina, and Georgia. So I think maybe I can go through here and take a little bit of a shortcut. Huh. So I got permission to walk on here. It's the old route, I guess. But take a look at this. I have show you what the old toll was. 12.5 cents for a horse and rider. 6 cents for just a guy walking through. Was it 1 or 2 cents per head of cow? And this Unicoi route, like I told you, Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia. But it also connected two river drainages. So from Tennessee, then it connected to the, I forget the river name, but then it eventually drains into the Savannah River, which gets to the Atlantic. So interesting stuff. All right, Lynch Mountain Road, guess what? It's a dirt road. And just stopped over there in the corner. It's got a nice lemonade. Met Tony and Ernie. Thank you very much. So let's hopefully we'll get to where we need to go before sundown. Looks like we got about another hour and 45, 2 hours maybe. Or maybe an hour and a half. You know, with this lemonade that I got, I've told you this before. You know, when you're drinking water, that's just the temperature of the air outside. The water's not very satiating or satisfying, but when you get this really ice cold water, that really quenches the thirst. But also, what I've noticed too is that it quenches any hunger there might be, or if there's you have kind of a taste for eating something and you just drink the tepid water, you still have that desire for food, but when you drink this ice cold water, the hunger goes away. Amazing how that works. And we're on this bridge here. It's a 12-ton limit, and creek here. The guy there said that you have some of the freshest water in these creeks up here. That'll be a nice thing. Guess I probably didn't have to carry 3 liters with me from the motel. So this was not my original route out of Helen. This was a last minute modification. I'm glad I did it. I'm liking this dirt road. Not only because the dirt, but because of the silence. Well, thank you, dirt road. Now back on the paved road. But at least we aren't on that busy highway over there. So, hopefully this last mile and a half, mile and a half or 2 miles, will be relatively quiet. So here's our turnoff onto Forest Service land. I didn't expect to see a vehicle here. The last picture I had of this road was it's all overgrown. Huh. See if we can go find a flat space here. Back in the woods. This was about an 8.6 mile day today. Not bad for leaving almost around 2 o'clock. So tomorrow I think it'll be about 13 miles, and then the day after that will be about 9 miles into Clayton. And like I said, it's going to be raining that night, so I'll just stay in a cheap motel and then head on out to South Carolina after that. I think South Carolina might just be a day after Clayton. So we're getting there. And then, like I said, might be the Bartram Trail. Oh, a little part of the Bartram Trail. And then mostly road walks into probably Greenville, South Carolina. Greenville, South Carolina will probably be the next day off, which will be about 10 days from now. Maybe 9. And then after that, Charlotte area. I'll go around the western and northern section. That'll be the next day off, most likely. And then about another 300 miles to the coast. Getting there. But in the meantime, good night. Well, good morning. Another cozy spot. I had the divots in the ground, just the right place where no matter if I slept on my side or slept on my back, the divots are just perfectly placed. It's a nice comfy spot. And for those of you wondering what this white stuff is, it's Tyvek. So I use Tyvek as a ground cover. It's nice and light, and it's impermeable, so it's a good deal. Nice view. And I think I found a shortcut. It'll save me a half mile. Instead of going back down the Forest Service Road, which goes that way, and then having to come back up the paved road this way, I got this easement here, the power lines. There's actually, I can go at the edge of the forest here to keep out of this stuff here, and then cut over. There's a little mowed area and dirt road, then it takes me right to the highway. So that'll be nice to save a half mile right out the first part of the day. And then today is going to be about, with that shortcut, today will be about 12 miles. Unless I decide to extend it another 1.5 miles. So the 12 miles is my first chance at Forest Service property again. But it might be kind of difficult to find a flat spot. So depending on the day, if I can go another 1.5 miles, then there's another Forest Service spot that's a little bit flatter. So we'll see what happens. So let's get going. Well, as usual, with a cozy camp spot, getting out of here late. You can probably tell. It's 10:30. But seeing as I only have about 6 hours to walk today, due to the mileage, then that's okay. I'll still get there about an hour before dark, before sunset. That was pretty nice, that shortcut here. It's working. And there's no gate, so nothing to worry about over there. Alright, we just saved ourselves 10 minutes for the shortcut. Not bad. 10 minutes in the grand scheme of things doesn't seem like much over, what, almost 4,000 miles, but take every minute and second you can get. You know, I always wonder about these chicken houses on all these walks. I've seen, of course, a number of chicken houses in operation, but oh, so many that are abandoned. And look, here's 1, 2, 3 right there. Just past one up there. That's 4. And here's another, looks like 2 over here. That's all within the space of 3/4 of a mile of each other. I wonder if that's just the economic nature of raising chickens in mass, in that there's just a very small profit margin, so some even very minor event will just tilt it in the balance of not being profitable and closing down. Or if it's just because they aren't built to last, and so after a certain number of years the viability of the structure is just such that, okay, shut her down, boys. All right, I made a stop here at the Marathon station. Stayed a little bit longer than usual, which is longer than I should have. Not longer than usual, though. Got a couple pieces of pizza, chicken wings, a couple orange juices. What, you're saying? Why so little? So that'll get me down the road about 2.5 miles. I'm going to stop at a little general store and get something to have for this afternoon and evening. Might as well spread the wealth, right? So on we go. So I just passed these guys alongside the road. They got all this wood here. They said, it looks like a lot of wood, doesn't it? They said last year they sold about $50,000 worth of wood, but their inventory right now, this time of year, is only about $20,000 worth. Looks like a lot, but they said it just goes. I stopped at a little general store back there, and not a whole lot of pickings, but got me enough to get me through this evening and in the morning. So I asked that lady there in the store to say about typical business for today. It's a Sunday. For this time of year, she said, it's a little bit slower. I said, well, it's going to be picking up probably right around Thanksgiving, right? For the holidays. And she goes, no, they don't get a benefit of the Helen traffic, so she said they're basically dead until March. And from what I can kind of gather from some of these houses here, how they appear to have nobody around. I'm guessing that probably, because there's a lake right over here, so I'm guessing a good number of these houses are probably vacation homes for people or summer type of residences, something like that. Thus the small general store there. Plus, it's also Clayton is just 14 miles down the road, and then a couple miles south of town in Clayton, there's a big Walmart. So, and there's a good grocery store in Clayton, Ingalls. So between that, I'm sure that that's why her business is not popping so much. And look at this. I don't know if you even remember her from the first walk, one of the first episodes. I think she was on there. We had dinner with Wendy. Wendy was a girl that worked in my real estate office back in the day, in the 80s. That's how she spelled her name, with an I instead of a Y. So we've basically been walking around the perimeter of the lake, and I'm surprised by the price of some of these houses that are for sale. Saw one for 4.5, another one for 2.9, another one for 3 something. Then there was one for, those were like lake view or lake on the lake. There was another one that was surprisingly only $228. But it was a little manufactured home, and I think it was just on a real small lot. But still, I'm kind of shell shocked from all the compared to all the prices I've been used to seeing. Remember that one we saw in Arkansas? I think it was what, 270 or 227? 5 acres, had a view. Man. All right. Got to the spot where I'm going to camp tonight. And just have to find a spot that's at least semi-level. Looks like there might be something right there. Or looks like I can climb up there. Might be something up on the top. Over here, the topo actually says it's a little bit flatter, but I don't see anything. Unless I go down there. All right, let me scout around here and I'll show you what I find. Okay, give me a second. Well, I came down this forest road here and I scouted up here. Doesn't look like much, looks all brushy, doesn't it? But there's a nice flat spot up on the top. Now the trick is to get up here. I barely got up here without the pack to scout around, so let's see, where did I go? Right here. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Now just hack our way through the brush here again. Oh. I'm glad this is fall and not summer, man. Huh. Okay, and voila, here we are. So, I'm thinking it's either out here in the open, there's not going to really be any dead branches to fall under me, or cocoon myself underneath here. 87% humidity tonight. Not really too many sticks here. A few sticks out there. I think I might go in the cocoon tonight. Yeah, we'll see. All right, that's it anyway. Made it with a little bit of light to spare. And I made it, oh, look at that. I made it with, I made it to the 1.5 mile further spot, so that gives me, what'd I say, only 8 miles to do tomorrow. And maybe I can check in early. Okay, I'm going to contemplate the real spot, and then I'll see you in the morning, unless something else happens. Good morning. Another nice, comfortable spot. You know, these leaves and this pine needles, they really make for a nice, soft, comfy spots. You get all the dips and the divots and in the right places. It's more comfortable than any bed I can ever think of. Here's a picture of the nice bedroom I woke up in. Very nice and quiet up here on top of the hill. Nice skylight. And now we got to get a move on. Let's see, where's the door to the bedroom? About 8 miles to go. So take our time and let's go this way. I think we head out here and then down to the road. Down to the road. Okay. Made it. Here we go. Oh, stop. So I think all day today, all day, almost 3 hours, it's going to be a paved road, and I think it's all downhill with just 1 or 2 blips of short uphill. And it being a Monday, I'm thinking there's not going to be much traffic either. And the other thing I'm realizing too is I think this is going to be the second to last full day in Georgia. So when I leave the motel after the rain, it may just be a day's walk to the South Carolina border, or if I leave a little bit too late, then I might still fall a mile or two short from South Carolina. But this is basically it for Georgia. And so a short time in Georgia, to compare that with the second walk, when we went right down the middle, north to south, that was about a month of being in Georgia. I told you about some big houses yesterday, 4 million, 3 million, 2 million. Here's another big one going up. Huh. Well, nice. They've got a mirror here to make sure I look pretty before I get into town. How do I look? Yeah. Okay. I guess nobody will throw me out. Hi. Now that's a red barn. I think that's the reddest, most fluorescent of red that I've seen on all three of these walks. Actually, if anywhere. Yeah, we're getting into the home stretch there. Final mile or so into town. This has been a curious day. I typically try to wave to all the cars. If it's not like just streaming them out of traffic. And I'd say at least half, if not more, of the people, it seems like, huh, what? Guy's waving at me and they don't wave back. I don't know what to make of it. And now that I said that, those two vehicles just passed me, waved back. But yeah, never have I found it waveless as I have along this little, so far, what, 7-mile section that we've walked? Or maybe 6.5. All right, made it to my campsite. Let's see how comfortable this bed is compared with the last 2 nights, with the ground with just the right spots. And then when I leave here, it'll be just 9 miles to South Carolina. So I guess we're going to South Carolina. Well, good afternoon. Late afternoon, actually. It's 2 o'clock. So I stayed here, got out of the rain. Now it's a nice blue sky day, some puffy clouds, but the winds are coming and the temperatures are dropping. So maybe about 35 tonight with a 15-mile-an-hour wind. And tomorrow night, about 33 with a 20-mile-an-hour wind, if the forecast holds up. And made a slight change. Going to stay on this little road till we get to the top of the mountain, instead of cutting off onto the Bartram Trail, for 2 reasons. Number one, I'm not sure that the section of Bartram Trail that I was planning on taking out of here is still fully cleared. And then number two, if it is, after the rain we had, I don't know if the river crossing is going to be a little bit more swollen, because I think there would have been a river crossing. So I'm going to take this road up here to the top of the mountain. And since we're getting a late start, probably go only about 8 miles today. And then camp out in forest land. And then tomorrow we'll take a corner around the ridge, I think, to a bridge. From the bridge we go a little bit down a road and then cut off onto a section, I think it's a section of the Foothills Trail that I checked in their website, and supposedly it is clear there. Anyway, I think that's the trail we're going on. Oh, no. We're going on the Chattooga River Trail. Yeah, that's it. Chattooga River Trail, and the Forest Service doesn't say anything on their website about it being closed or anything like that. So keep our fingers crossed and hope that we're not going to have to dance up and over and under a bunch of downed trees and stuff. So South Carolina border. Original plan was to have gotten to it today, but because I'm staying on the road a little bit longer, so the border kind of goes like this, and so we're kind of angling up now like this instead of cutting over to catch it today. So tomorrow we cross into South Carolina. In the meantime, let's enjoy this nice sunny weather, a little blustery winds. The thing I wanted to show you too is the name of this road, War Woman Road. Hopefully I don't get yelled at by her. Well, take a look at this. Nice view, and that nice view just happens to be a nice camping spot. So just like that, I'm up here at this camping spot. This is the West Fork of the Chattooga River, and tomorrow we're going to be walking right into South Carolina, right up there, and taking the Chattooga River trail over on the other side of the mountain. Now, let me tell you what happened here. So I was walking up the road, and then this guy stopped and said, "Hey, I'll give you a ride up the road there." And I said, "Well, okay, I guess." Anyway, his name is John, and his family, his relatives, his ancestors have all been in this whole valley here. They have the original land grants from way back in the 1700s. That's how long his family stays here. So he brought me up the road the few miles that we drove up here. He told me the history about the area and all that sort of stuff. And he pointed out this campsite, which is a lot better than one that I had kind of out on the map, which is going to be kind of, go through some brambles and try and find a hillside there. So anyway, I got this campsite. It is right next to the road, but there's not many people come to the road. Now, there is a kind of a hiccup. We've got a companion. So according to John, people are known to just drop animals off here, whether they're dogs or cats, and abandon them. And that's what this appears to be. There's no collar. And it appears she's been out here not too long because she still looks pretty well fed. So he fed her, and then you probably see the white bag on the tree there. He gave me a little bag of food to feed her with. And I think this is one of these situations where I'm going to have a little companion tonight, at the very least. And then I suspect I'm going to have a walking companion tomorrow until we get to the other side of the mountain. And then on the other side of the mountain, there's houses. So hopefully she'll find home over there. Because you can't come with me the whole rest of the way. You know what? You know that? No, you can't. And I guess in this case, I wouldn't feel bad if she tagged along with me, because odds are I'm not taking her away from her home. So let's see what happens tonight, tomorrow. Let's see how this turns out to be a nothing happens by chance type of thing anyway, right? Anyway, so I'm staying here tonight. Wind is going to be coming from, there's the west. Wind is actually probably going to be coming from right up from coming downstream. So I got to find a spot that's a little bit wind protected, maybe over here a bit, because I don't want to put up the tent, as you know. And 36 with 15-mile-an-hour winds. Maybe I'll have to break down in the middle of the night and do it anyway. All right, so that's it from, this is our last night in Georgia. Our last night in Georgia. See you in the morning. Looks like somebody's still here in the morning. Yeah, I still have company. She laid all over me last night. It was pretty cold, so it was all right. Take a look at this view. Nice view to wake up to. It's pretty cold. You can see my breath. So I'm in a quandary as to what to do with this dog here. I don't know if the best thing for her is for me to just leave her here or let her follow me. Wondering what's going to be the best place for her future. If she's going to find potentially more people here to pick her up, or if, I don't know. We'll figure it out. So what are we going to do with you, little one, huh? I think the best thing is I'm going to leave you here. All right? I'm going to put some food down on the ground for you. And while you're eating, I'm going to take off. How's that sound, huh? Because there's some houses right down here. There's houses down there that you can go find stuff. How's that sound? She's a rambunctious little one, that's for sure. Been running around all morning. Well, all morning, past half hour. So I think that's the best thing, is because she's obviously not trained to walk on the road. There's been cars going up and down this road, and probably be like 5 minutes she'd be all squished or cause an accident. So I'm going to leave her some food, and while she's doing that, I'm going to take off. Hopefully she doesn't come running after me. And then somebody will probably come here and find her. And that guy, John, he put her information on the Facebook. So I think that's the best thing. Okay, well, I did the dirty deed. Left her with some food, and I actually ran right around the curve. So I think that's the best thing. Good luck, little baby. I'm sure you'll find a good home. The more I'm walking on this road, the more I see it's the right decision. Comes a car. She'd just be all out on this road, and no telling what would happen. I would have called, but there's no cell service up here, so just put it in the hands of Providence and trust that the best will work out. Well, here's one of those nothing happens by chance things. I just stopped there at that road to put away my wrapper of my honey bun. Yeah. I'll never have a honey bun after this trip again. I've had too many. Anyway, these two guys in a pickup truck came by. I said, "Hey, you lost?" I said, "No, I'm walked across America." Got talking. Anyway, I told them, "Hey, you know anybody that needs a little dog?" I left her down there by the camping area. She says, "Yeah, we'll go check on her." So, there we go. Okay, little puppy, so just hang around there a little bit. They're going to come get you. I don't know if you can read that. Leaving the Blue Ridge Mountains Soil and Water Conservation District. That means we're leaving Georgia. Right up here is the line where the river is. And we'll be in South Carolina. How about that? Oh, I think there's a trail over here. Let's look at that first. All right, so this is actually the Bartram Trail. Bartram Trail. Originally, I was thinking of going on the Bartram Trail, and we would have been coming from right over there, but I wasn't too sure about, like I told you, being cleared. And then I wasn't also sure about how high the river crossing would have been, because I think I confirmed it yesterday with John when I was talking to him about it. He said, I was telling him the river crossing. He said, "Well, there's a bridge," and then he corrected himself. "Oh yeah, the bridge I think is washed out." But then he said there was a log. So I think I made a good choice just coming up this way. So we're going to head over here to South Carolina. How about that? So here we go. This is the Russell Bridge. And right about here we go. Welcome to South Carolina. Georgia. South Carolina. Like I've mentioned before in the past, how it's just interesting to see imaginary guiding line, imaginary boundaries. This is the line. There's Georgia. There's South Carolina. Georgia, South Carolina. Just like that. It's the Chattooga River. So we were on the west fork of the Chattooga. We were on the west fork of the Chattooga River last night. So now this is the actual Chattooga River, and there's a trail that goes along it, and sometimes up on the little hillside there. So I just got to find it, and that's where we're going. Oh, look at this, a couple cars. I guess I might find a couple people on the trail, huh? So this is the Chattooga River Trail. They also call it the Chattooga Connector. It's going to take us along the river, around that mountain, and then I think we get onto road 107 or 108, something like that. And here we go. Look at all this. I'm presuming this is all from the hurricane. I saw a lot of signs of it too along the road where trees are down, and you can see they had cut some trees that had fallen across the road. The other interesting thing too about artificial boundaries or invisible boundaries, this is the Sumter National Forest. And just right across the river is the Chattahoochee National Forest. So this trail here, again, it's the Chattooga River Trail, I guess also known as the Chattooga connector for the Bartram. But by taking this and the Bartram and a series of other trails, 19 miles to North Carolina. But that's walking into the destruction zone, so that's why we're staying in South Carolina for a while. Expect to be in the Greenville area. Let's see, Thursday, Friday, something. Maybe in 4 days. 4.5 days. So here we go. I see a little damage here. Trees falling over from the hurricane. So far, it's been a nice little trail. And this would really be quite, I'm not going to, really quite luscious when it's hot, you know. Listen. All right. Up we go. This has been a nice little trail. And Georgia is not wanting to get us out of sight yet. That's Georgia right over there. The river's right there, and we're just South Carolina here. Well, this is really different. It's like all of a sudden, the trail maintenance stopped. Bam, magically, just right on that little V over there. And on this side, it's like, okay, forget it. Because you can tell there's some old blowdowns. And then, of course, you can tell that there's the newer stuff from the hurricane. But man, this is slow going. I wonder what that imaginary line is where they just stopped maintaining it. Well, we got out of that mess. Here's a trail that actually paralleled the river. I guess I could have taken that, but I was not knowing if it would have been choked off because of the river or not. But it looks like it would have been a better choice. Although this trail was nice, except for that, it's probably a 3/4 mile section of blowdowns. Oops, as I speak. So we're still looking at Georgia over there, South Carolina here, and the Chattooga River right there. Well, that last 1.5 miles has been a chore. I got some more blowdowns along the trail here. One of them I even had to take my pack off. But look at this place here. It's a little campsite of sorts. It's got a nice little seat. It's nice and flat. This would be a perfect place if I was at the end of the day. Let's camp right here. Look at this too. Got the river, and look at this here. Should I partake of the swinging rope and go into the water? A little cold, I'd say. So I'm taking a little break here. I feel like I can still keep going, but I guess it's wise just to stop for a few minutes anyway, get a little bit to eat, and continue on. I might try and make it a little bit further than my proposed camp tonight. I'm trying to picture, I pictured a logical spot, but it might be a little bit too far considering sundown and all that. So we'll see. Still got Georgia over there. Hello, Georgia. All right, back on the move. Only stayed there about 25 minutes. That's surprising for me. And I also decided I'm going to Where do I go? I also decided I'm just going to camp where I'm going to camp. But about a half mile after that in the morning, there's a place where I can potentially take a quarter-mile shortcut, which will save me a mile in the morning. And I'm trying to decide whether I want to try and do 22 miles a day for the next 2 days. And that'll get me into Greenville. Or just stick with the just shy of 15 miles a day. So we'll see. Lick Log Falls. What a name, huh? Lick Log. And supposedly we're going to have to cross that somehow. Well, see what we find. On second thought, no, we don't cross that one. We cross the one up here called Pigpen Falls. I can hear it. Doesn't sound as big. Oh, here's how we'll cross it. A bridge. All right. Look, this bridge is wobbly. I have to get some water too. That's pretty. That'd be a nice cool pool during the summer. Grab some water here and then got some stair steps going up. Just listening to and looking at this, probably be a nice refreshing spot to come to in the summer. I'll bet you it gets a lot of use too. But especially on a hot, sultry night, let's go in, take a dip, air dry. Provided, of course, it's not Mosquito City around here. That would just kind of, that'd be so disappointing, right? You get up here and it's the mosquitoes command the whole area. And just like that, we came out to the parking area for the Foothills Trail. Now, if we wanted to go Table Rock State Park, it's only 68.7 miles that way. I'm presuming the reason why they've got that on there, 7, 8.9, and then all the way to 68.7. That must be the terminus, the northern terminus of the Foothills Trail, I suppose. All right, gotta find a way out of here. I think we'll go down here. Well, I zoned out back there and missed the turn. So I had to backtrack a quarter mile or so. Get back on the trail here. Huh. Looks like the old trail. The stair steps. New trail. I guess we'll go to the new trail. Well, this time I'll pay attention. Trail came out there across the road, and it actually goes there, but then kind of goes the wrong way that I need to go. So we're going to follow this road. And we just come up onto the ridge up here. I think it's all mostly then downhill all the way to Greenville. Greenville. I'm starting to talk like Southerner. South Carolina. So, it's supposed to be 31 tonight. 17-mile-an-hour wind in the beginning of the night, and then it's going down to 7. But still, this is the coolest temperatures I've had since, I guess, Nevada, huh? You have to break out the gloves and jacket. Well, 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 look at this. I don't know how much you can see through the trees, but we're looking down in the horizon there, down into the rest of South Carolina. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Like I said, we're pretty much downhill all the way. A little up and down here and there, but the trend is down. And then I think there's a little bit of a up as we get to Charlotte, North Carolina. And that'll be around the west and north side of Charlotte. And after that, it'll be, again, downhill all the way to the end. It's amazing how things can be so different in just a short distance. Now compare the colors that we have here on basically a southeast facing slope. No, a southwest facing slope. And all in here versus how all the color of the trees over on the other side there in Georgia are pretty much all stripped bare now. So that's looking southwest right there. Huh. I love JB. Huh. Well, I'm going to be sleeping next to that tonight. The wind didn't kick up like it's a forecast, but it could also be, of course, because I'm on the leeward side of the mountain. There's west. I'm getting a little bit of a breeze, but not a whole lot. So I'll set up against these rocks, and I'm high enough above the creek that I don't think I'll get any effect of the water, making it colder or the moisture from the water. So this is called something or other primitive camp. Nobody here, it's midweek. So I'm going to try and get out. How many times have I said that? I'm going to try and get out early tomorrow. I didn't leave till 9:30 this morning, partly because of that dog, but speaking of which, I hope that dog's okay. I'm sure it is. All right, it's pretty cold. I'm going to get something to eat here and go to bed. And the sun has set. Good night. Look, I got another friend here. Come on up. You gonna come on up?